It is nearly 6 years to date since Hurricane Michael slammed into the Florida Panhandle. It was originally declared a Category 4 hurricane by the National Hurricane Center, and some post-analysis was done on the storm, which ultimately determined that it was a Category 5 hurricane at landfall. And due to its devastation, particularly in areas like Mexico Beach and Panama City, the name was retired and was replaced with Milton for the 2024 season. And now we have another October hurricane once again bearing down on the Sunshine State with the potential to cause catastrophic damage. So here's the latest on the storm. You can see the convection wrapping around into the circulation. Currently has 90 mile an hour sustained winds, and it is intensifying. That's up from 85 at the last advisory, and it's almost up to a Category 2 hurricane, and is expected to become a Category 4 by landfall. And of course, we can't rule out the potential that it could become a Category 5. And it's quite clear to see why. There is a hotbed of sea surface temperatures closing in on 90 degrees Fahrenheit where the storm is currently located. And as it goes through the next couple of days, it will cross over a few relatively cooler patches of water. But it should be noted that these areas are still over 80 degrees Fahrenheit, so the storm will likely not weaken substantially before it makes landfall. But you may see a few periods where the storm does not continue intensifying and might level off from time to time. And it's important to note that those are not times to let your guard down on the storm, and that the forecasts by the National Hurricane Center for the intensity at landfall are still likely to hold up. And they should be taken very seriously. The storm should be taken very seriously for all who are in its path. And the clock is ticking on this storm. Most likely arrival time of those tropical storm force winds 8 a.m. Wednesday for much of the Florida West Coast. A little bit farther east, you have a few more hours, but nonetheless, preparations and evacuations should be underway. Reach out to your local officials and seek guidance from them for more on proceeding with such things. And I want to turn our attention now to the rainfall potential from Hurricane Milton. You see all of this rain currently falling across the Sunshine State, and that has been a trend over the last few days. All of this moisture just coming in from the Gulf from a separate system. And what that is doing is it is just waterlogging the soil to where it will not be able to easily absorb the rainfall that Milton will produce later this week over all of these areas. And you see this wide swath of 8 to 12 inches currently being projected by the models across central Florida. And those numbers could go up, especially should the storm perhaps hug the west coast of Florida a little more than is currently projected to as it turns to the north. There are some model runs that have indicated that. And what that could do, because what you got to remember is it's not what hits, it's how it hits. And what that could do is cause tremendous flooding in addition to the flooding from the storm surge, which could be massive, in addition to the destruction caused by the winds associated with Milton. So I cannot stress enough, especially if you live in a low-lying area in the storm's path, evacuate, get out of harm's way. This is a catastrophe waiting to happen later this week. Do not let yourself be one of the statistics from it. And with all of that, I hope you found this video informative so far. If you did, please like the video down below, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and share the video. Share it on all of the social media platforms so that the word gets out about the dangers associated with Milton. And moving on, once the storm makes landfall, we will start to see dry air wrapping around into the circulation. And these white dots on the storm track from the National Hurricane Center suggest the storm will become extratropical as that dry air wraps into the system. And then it will move off of the Florida coastline and out into the open Atlantic and officially dissipate. Our thoughts and prayers on this channel go out to the victims of Hurricane Helene. And for those of you who are interested, I will include a few links in the description of the video to some donation funds and things, efforts to help with the cleanup there. So if you're interested, please check that out in the description of the video. As always, be safe, and thank you for watching.